Relationships by user Throw It Away Beguilt. Title: I 29F just found out my ex 37M is getting married. I didn't know he was dating anyone, and we've continued hooking up monthly since the breakup. My ex 37M and I 29F have been broken up for about a year. We had been together for 3 years. We both have our own businesses and are fairly independent and travel a lot, and therefore had separate houses and never lived together full time. The breakup was really painful for me, because I was still very much in love with him, but could feel him start to lose interest and drift off, basically ghosting me while away on a trip one time, and when I had to leave shortly after that for a trip of my own, he told me over the phone while I was away that he was still in love with me, but he thought we should change the nature of our relationship because it was too hard with us both being away so much. I was devastated. Ampex 200B. About a month later, when we were both back home in the same town, he asked to see me, we had sex, we told each other we loved each other, it felt pretty much the same as when we were together. Another month went by, we would text about once a week, always romantic or sexy, and about once a month for the next year we'd meet back up and hook up, sometimes me asking to see him, sometimes him asking to see me, sometimes his place, sometimes mine. I never asked if he was seeing anyone, and he never asked me. I would go through waves of wanting him back, but still had a lot of pain around the breakup, so I never asked if we could go back to the way things were. Ampex 200B. Then about a month ago, he asked to see me. He invited me to a rental villa he owns, not his own house, fair enough as it's closer to my place, and I figured we were just meeting up for a quickie. We talked for a bit, then went to the bedroom. Started kissing and he told me passionately that he loves me. We start getting undressed and he says yours is still my dream body, the perfect woman. We had amazing sex, unprotected as always, I'm on birth control, and both ended up in loving tears. He was crying telling me how he's never missed or wanted an ex like this before, how this is always going to be what our connection is like, how much he loves me. He told me he's thought about me every fucking day since we broke up, me too, and wakes up in the morning feeling like he's screaming out my name. I felt it too, super powerful emotions. It was really intense. I had to run to work after that, so we didn't really get to talk about what it all meant for our future. Ampex 200B. After I left, I didn't hear from him at all for 2 days, which was pretty unusual for him, so I got worried. He almost never posts anything on social media at all. His last pictures on Instagram are from a trip we took together a year ago, but I started digging in his tagged photos, which I never did before, because I was trying to heal from the breakup, so I avoided looking at his profiles. Saw a girl tagged in a pic with him, clicked her profile, and, sure enough, over the past year, she has tons of pictures posted with him, and her most recent one of them together was hashtag #FuturoMarido from 2 weeks prior. I felt like I had been sucker punched. Ampex 200B. I freaked the fuck out, started screaming at him via text that he had to tell her what he did, or that I would tell her. I went nuts. He eventually agreed to meet up with me, broke down crying, told me he had started seeing her while we were still together, when he ghosted me, that she didn't know we were still hooking up, begged me not to tell her, etc. I tried to get him to agree to tell her, but he wouldn't. He just said I've apologized to her for any ways I've hurt her, she wouldn't want to know, don't I deserve happiness? I will be a better person to her, I promise, etc. etc. I was so angry and disgusted with him and so wanting to run away from it all that I let it go. Ampex 200B. So basically he's a piece of shit and I dodged a huge bullet by not ending up with him. My sadness about the breakup immediately switched to rage at him and a deep pity for her 25F. By the way, I thought our age difference was big, but she's 12 years younger than him. I started viewing her like a little sister I want to protect from making this huge mistake. I have such a huge sadness for her, to be marrying someone who would not only cheat, unprotected, continually, but also say those things to another woman after being engaged to her, dream body, perfect woman, screaming out your name, etc. etc. I tried to forget about it and let it go, but still now more than a month after that discovery, I feel absolutely sick to my stomach with guilt knowing that she is going to marry him without knowing he's been unfaithful to her their entire relationship. Ampex 200B. Is it my place to tell her? I thought I had decided to definitely not tell her and just let their lives play out as it will, but it's still keeping me up at night. What would you do? Ampex 200B. TLDR, after continuing to hook up with my ex every month for a year, I found out he's engaged to be married to a woman he's kept hidden from me. We slept together after they were already engaged and he said he was still in love with me. He's trash, but do I tell her he cheated so she knows what she's dealing with? Or is the desire to do that just some deep part of me wanting revenge? Ampex 200B. Moral of the story, don't sleep with your ex. Ampex 200B. Edit, okay, I hear you. Further question, how do I tell her? Meet up in person. Just message her screenshots. Is there any way to do it anonymously? FML. Comment by XXCHOCXX, I would 100% tell her. I honestly think it will be on your conscience if you don't really, it would be on mine too if I were in your shoes. After reading, there's also a possibility that she's been in the picture for longer than he's said considering you didn't live together. He may well have been leading a completely separate life. I think you should give her all of the facts and then it's up to her what she chooses to do with the information. Some people can be worried about not being believed, etc., but more often than not, the person is glad to be told. I would 100% want to know if it were me, so I think you would be doing the right thing by telling her. Don't let your ex know though, as he will prepare a story to feed her if he suspects you will be telling her. Good luck. Reply by Clitosaurus Dex, I'm even wondering if this other person was first. Why marry someone if you're still passionately longing for an ex you still have access to? I am sure it's possible, but it sounds like he was dating her first, cheated with felt guilty and de-escalated relationship but wanted her so badly he didn't stop seeing her, despite escalations with his original partner that led to him getting engaged to her. Comment by Tiburek, go tell her. He doesn't deserve happiness, she deserves to be married to someone who respects her. Comment by Storm of Stupid, yeah, he's 37. His bread is baked. He's not going to be a better person. Tell her. Reach out on Facebook, since you know you can find her there. Comment by Fargo Hat, yes, tell her she does want to know. This guy is a sociopath. Do it soon before he can start pre-damage control by telling her how crazy you are. I hope you saved all the texts. Reply by Throw It Away Beguilt, yup, tons of texts to prove everything. Comment by Senior 4F, tell her. And then go get tested for STIs. If you've ever had unprotected sex, if you've ever had a condom break, if he's ever put it on late. Just be safe, go get tested. Comment by KDEEC 567, tell her. If you were in her shoes, wouldn't you wanna know? I had a friend find out my ex cheated and I am forever grateful for her for telling me. As upset as she may be, she deserves to know how shitty he is and she deserves to make the decision if she still wants to marry him. He's going to be pissed and it'll probably be the end of you guys hooking up, but serves him right. Comment by Mumbles, please tell her. She is young, don't let her waste her life. Comment by Shenaniga, tell her. Don't let her make this mistake blind. If she chooses to go ahead with it, that's on her, but she should go in knowing the truth. This guy is a serial cheater, and a pathological liar. Relation